Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday the 13th of March, and today is the first day I am finally getting back into my running after taking 6 months off to try and help rebalance my hormones. So if you are new here, last year I was training for my first half marathon, but I had to put that journey on hold because it was very clear that I was suffering with some imbalanced hormones, and running just completely made it 10 times worse. So I had to make the decision for my health to take some time off completely from all intense exercise. I've just been doing lots of yoga and meditation since to try and help bring my cortisol levels down, and I've now been given the go ahead to gently get back into some form of exercise. It was recommended that I do HIIT training, so short intervals, but kind of focus on cardiovascular fitness to just help work with my hormones rather than fight them. So I've decided to start the Couch to 5K app. I actually did the Couch to 10K app last year when I really got into running, which was the start of lockdown, completely the start of lockdown. And I really ended up loving it, hence why I started trying to run my first half marathon. Anyway, I've decided to start the Couch to 5K app because I think it's a nice balance of running and walking, and it's not too long. So I've downloaded the app today. Again, I'm doing the C to 5K app rather than the Couch to 5K app, which is like the yellow icon. I think I'm doing the red icon, I believe. I had so many questions about last year. I didn't realize how many different apps there were. So yeah, doing the C25K app, and today's first session is warming up for 5 minutes, then running for 60 seconds and walking for 90 seconds for 20 minutes. So it's a really nice balance of bringing my heart rate up, but then totally bringing it back down. And it's going to be interesting to see how I get on this time round, because I really struggled last year when I started the Couch to 10K app. I realised that my cardiovascular fitness was absolutely terrible, and yeah, I really struggled, and I was so upfront about that on my Instagram page. I actually have a fitness Instagram page, if you want to follow me, and I saved all of my story highlights from that Couch to 10K journey and popped them all of my highlights if you want to go back through that from the beginning to the end. I think there's like part 1 and part 2 because it was so long. So yeah, I'm really excited to finally get back into some fitness. I've got my running jacket on. I have so many compliments about this jacket, and unfortunately it is extremely old, probably about 4 or 5 years old now, from Born Bjorg, but I love it. And I've got a little t-shirt underneath, Gym Plus coffee, leggings because they are so comfortable. I've had my breakfast. I am fueled, which is so important for myself and my hormones, to make sure that I am fueled before I run. I've had a vitamin C drink. Again, that is also really important for me because last year I had a Kinesology or Kinsology appointment. I've pronounced that wrong for sure. And it was picked up that I definitely need to keep my vitamin C levels up, because when I run, I just sweat all the nutrients and vitamins out, and that was why I got into such a bad place with my hormones last year, because I had no idea. I knew that I sweat a lot, but I had no idea that Everything I was putting into my body was just coming straight out. So it's been advised that when I run now, I have vitamin C drink before and after my runs, and that's 1,000 milligrams each. So 1,000 milligrams before I run, 1,000 milligrams after I run. And also just making sure I fuel myself, because I have a problem with my cortisol levels, progesterone. I have to be really careful when I run in the mornings, and it is the morning. So when I do, I have to make sure I'm really hydrated, really fueled, so that my body doesn't feel like it's under stress. And I've just got to really watch that. So these next few weeks, when I take my basal temperature every morning, I need to really make sure that there's not any spikes to indicate that my body is suddenly feeling stressed. So yeah, there's a lot to work on, but I'm excited to get back into it. Let's go. We are finished. I love that. It's just, the only way I can describe it is like a chocoholic giving up chocolate for the first 6 months, for 6 months, and then eating that first bit of chocolate once again. I don't find it difficult at all, really, and it just went really quick. The one thing that I did do was put into practice the yoga breathing techniques that I've been doing for the past 6 months. So for me, it's really important that I help support my nervous system, and deep breathing is so good for that. So when I was running, I made sure that I was breathing like deeply and properly, and then the cool down, well, the walking, and hopefully if I keep that up, it's just going to help tell my body that it's not in like a fight or flight mode, and actually everything is okay. We do not want my cortisol levels going up every time I run. So yeah, I'm really happy with that run. I wish I could have run longer. That is the competitive side of me coming out, but just got to go with it and trust the process. I have just returned home, and I was worried that my body would be like, what are you doing? And would have just have forgotten everything I did last year. But I found it really easy. The only thing I probably struggled with towards the end were my calves were like, what the hell are we doing? So I definitely need to focus on warming those up more before my runs, which reminded me that I actually had to do that a lot last year as well, because my calves were one of the things I struggled with the most. I did warm up before I went. I was just about to leave the door, and then Doug was like, have you warmed up? So I did like a 6 or 7 minute warm up with Shona Virtue, and then when I got back I cooled down with Zana Van Dyke on YouTube, 3 videos. So for me, I really want to keep feeling loose, because the 6 months I've had off, I've obviously been doing yoga, and I have got so loose and nice and flowy, and I don't want to start running again and then losing all of that progress. So I need to stay on top of it, and also warming up properly and cooling down properly is so important for hormone health, because again, it just taps into your nervous system. But one of the things I did put into practice when I was running was the breathing techniques that I have kind of adapted from yoga. So when I was running, I made sure that I was breathing properly still. I not so much anymore, but I used to really hold my breath a lot when I exercised, which isn't so good for you. And also when it was the walking part, just really cooling down my body and tapping into my nervous system by doing a lot of deep breath work. I think my heart rate was averaging around 140, so I think that is good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and now it's time to refuel my body. This is one of the most important things I can do for my hormones at this moment in time, because Obviously, food helps fuel your body, put in like the calories that you've burned, although I probably haven't burned anywhere near the amount that I was burning last year, because obviously I was running more and whatnot, and I'm only running once a week, but this is so important for me to get right. So I'm taking my vitamin C tablet, which is 1,000 milligrams, and this is from Primal Living. This just doesn't have any synthetic crap, and it's probably the only vitamin C drink tablet that my stomach likes. So that is vitamin C refueling and hydration, a banana, and also Kind were very kind enough to send me their new Kind bars. I adore these, and I posted them so much when I was running last year, because their Kind breakfast bar was my pre-run fuel every single time. And this is the new flavour, so it's dark chocolate, orange almond. And let's see what it's like. I'm probably only going to have half because it's nearly, oh, I haven't ended my workout. It's nearly lunchtime, so having this now though, because it's so important to refuel, as I've said. I aim to get enough fuel in terms of food within 30 minutes after I run. So I'm going to have this because I'm then going to shower, probably put some makeup on, get changed, and by the time that's probably like an hour later, and then I will have my lunch. But yeah, I thought I'd just give you a little update. Let's try this bad boy. I'm not the biggest chocolate orange fan, to be honest, but that is nice. That is not like an overpowering dark chocolate orange. I love dark chocolate, so this is probably why I like this. And there's enough like flavour from the nuts, and it's very nutty. Hi, me again. I am showered, I am fed, had a really big lunch, and I just feel really good right now. So today's video in the title is obviously about my couch to 10k journey that I did last year, and what I thought of the app, and any tips I have for those either thinking about starting it or starting it. So I'm gonna dive straight into it. My couch to 10k journey started last year at the beginning of lockdown, and I think it was my 5th week of doing it, where I really started to fall in love with running. But rewinding a little bit, I want to just explain why I decided to go and do the couch to 5k. So as somebody who has been into fitness for quite some time, I have by no means been a runner whatsoever, and I think a lot of people presume that if you're into fitness and you like lifting weights and you like moving your body, that you will just get straight into running and you will be really good at it. And I can absolutely tell you that is not the case whatsoever. Somebody who is already into their fitness or goes to the gym daily, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to start running and they are going to be amazing at it. So of course, when I downloaded the app during lockdown, it was mostly to give me the challenge to work towards something new whilst in lockdown, because obviously the gyms had closed and I didn't have access to weights or the usual stuff that I was doing. So 1, it was a new challenge for me, and 2, it was because I've never really ran before. I remember at the really start of my fitness journey about 4 to 5 years ago, I started running a little bit, but because running to me has always been quite difficult, I never stuck to it. So the second reason of downloading the app was to prove to myself that I could run, and that I could actually prove to myself that I can continue to do something that is the most challenging thing to me yet when it comes to fitness. So in terms of reviewing the app, does it actually work? I think that is the main question a lot of people ask before they download the app. And I can honestly say that yes, the app does work. Whether you are doing the Couch to 5K app or whether you are doing the Couch to 10K app, you will go from not being able to run whatsoever to being able to run. And I think when at first you flick through the workouts week by week, you kind of get to a certain point. So let's say week 6, for example, you kind of get to that certain point where you're like, you're telling me I'm going to run in week 5, in 5 weeks time, without stopping. Yeah, like that is basically me last year. I had no confidence in myself whatsoever when it came to running. And I actually found the process of, the process of going from those walking and running routine to then suddenly being like, okay, you're not going to be walking anymore. I found that the most daunting thing ever. But then it was really achievable. I had to honestly believe in myself. And I think once you get past that brick wall of saying, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that, I like my walk runs, your mindset and your attitude towards running completely changes. I think it was week 5 of the Couch 10K app where things really took a turn for me, and I think that was the week where I first started running 20 minutes without stopping whatsoever. And that was the week where my attitude just completely changed. I did find it difficult, I'm not going to lie. Like there were definitely times when I was like, I need to stop running, I can't finish these next 2 minutes of running. And I think once you just tell yourself that you can, it's just amazing, like the transformation from week 0 to week 5 or week 6, how quickly you can progress as somebody who has never ran before. So week 8 of the Couch 10K app was the week that marks the 5K mark, where you just run a 5K without stopping. And that was a week that I can remember so clearly because I was so worried that I would have to stop running and I would have to start walking somewhere in between. It's not because I physically can't do it, it's because I mentally can't do it, because I got so used to running with that bit of, oh, okay, I'm gonna walk in a minute, because I got so used to that thought process. It took me so long to get out of that into the fact that actually I don't need those walks anymore. And I think that would be something that if I could criticize the app, then it would be that bit. But then I'm not sure how you would get over that criticism anyway. So you definitely have to go from walking to running when you first start the app. But then maybe there's just too much of a, oh, suddenly you're going to run for 20 minutes and you're not going to walk. Maybe that changes too much. But yeah, besides that, I really loved the Couch 10K app. It made me the fittest I have ever been in such a long bless me. It made me the fittest I had ever been in such a long time. There was a point where I was really fit when I was doing CrossFit, but I wasn't healthy when I was doing CrossFit. There was a lot of under eating involved, not purposely, but just because of how much calories I was burning and how much physical performance that was needed from my body. I just wasn't help supporting my body enough. But when I was running, I felt the fittest I had felt in possibly ever, or a really, really long time. And I think that's why I continued to run, because I loved how fit it made me feel. But yeah, the Couch to 5K, Couch to 10K app, they're very similar. Like the goal is to get you running, right? It transformed my fitness levels. I started the Couch to 10K app absolutely breathless, like feeling like my lungs were going to burst, feeling like my asthma had come back, finishing it and being able to feel like I could run longer than 10K without stopping. And to me, like even when I'm thinking back to it now, that is incredible, especially as I've just done my first run of the Couch to 5K app. And now when I think, there was a time when I was running 16K without stopping, and yeah, it's just, I absolutely cannot recommend the app. It's free, it can open you up to a community on social media, so if you are joining the app and you want to start posting about it on your Instagram or Twitter account, there's hashtags that you can join in to keep yourself accountable and also just keep yourself up to date with other people's progress. It's just amazing, and I think if you are considering it, then absolutely do it. I did write a full review on my blog, so definitely check that out if you want some reading materials on it. One other thing I will just give you as a tip from myself, who has done the Couch to 10K app, is to really warm up and warm down properly. I absolutely kind of feel the negative impact of running on my body, so I became a lot stiffer. I wasn't as flexible anymore, but that was also because I wasn't taking care of my body before and after my runs, and if I could go back and change anything, it would be to do that. And as well, now that I know that warming up and cooling down is so important for hormonal health, I will absolutely make sure that I will do that in future. But yeah, that would be my number one tip, is to take care of your body in between your runs. And also, because the app suggests running 3 times a week, there is no reason why you can't tailor that towards your preference or what works for you. So for example, I'm running once a week or twice a week at the most during this process when I'm trying to help support my hormones and rebalance them. That just means it will take me longer to do the app, and that is absolutely okay with me. If you guys need to do that, where if you just think free runs are running too much for you right now, tailor it to your needs. You don't have to do the runs 3 times a week. But yeah, I think that would be my thoughts and my honest thoughts on the app, and I'm looking forward to sharing the rest of my running journey with you guys. I hope you enjoyed episode 2 of this returning to running series. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for weekly videos. If you have any video recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. I will catch you guys next week.